Welcome! This is Denis Labrecque speaking here, and this is my tutorial 6 on, this one will be specifically on CSS absolute positioning. So let's get going. We're going to, as we already mentioned, make this web page. So notice that I took these images and I saved them as an image, and I made all these pictures. So I made link 1 active, link 1 hover, and that's how I expect them to look when they're normal links, when I click on them and when I hover over them. So that will be the background image for those pseudo classes. Therefore, if I go to our document, here we see we need we're gonna have 4 links. So we're gonna start with 1 link, and we're gonna style that. We're gonna see how that goes. So gonna make that href will go nowhere, and then we're gonna make a class for this, which is gonna be link, and we're gonna add another class. Link will define how the basic layout of these 4 links is, and the specific class for each link we're gonna call bubble 1, bubble 2, bubble 3, bubble 4, and that's gonna define which background it has, what size it is, and what margins it has. So therefore, we're going to write bubble 1 for our first link. And I'll call this menu for now. And while we're at it, I'll just copy this. Oh dear, okay. Sorry. So I'll copy this 4 times, save that, and now we're ready to go. So if I refresh my page, we have menu. Now I'll go select all my links, and so I'll do a point link, and those are my 4 links that are here. What I want to do first is, let me consult my notes. Okay, I want to tell what sort of position these links will have. I don't want them to be a normal inline text. I want them to be overlaid one over the other, and how you do that is use an absolute position. Now let me show you what position does. You have to experiment with these things. We could use fixed as position, and what that would do is that now you see all the elements have crammed themselves one over the other, and you see that as I scroll over my page now, the link actually follows you all along. And that's because that's the way fixed position works. Now absolute is a bit similar, but things will stay where they were on the page originally. So understand that that's what we're doing, and you can experiment with those positions to see what it does. Now the other thing we wanted to do is, well, you'll see why this is important, but we'll just define text align center. This is kind of temporary. This is not too important for now. Anyway, and now we're going to display block. We're going to just make sure that when we put sizes, they really display as a block. So really those 2 last styles are a bit of a habit to me. Now let's go specifically into our bubble. So we would have bubble 1. Now I think I copied this and I didn't pay attention, but we want this to be bubble 2, bubble 3, and bubble 4. So we'll first want to position this first bubble properly so that it's not on the left margin like that and on top. We want it to be in that position a certain distance from the left margin. So we're first going to define a size. We'll do width 200 pixels, and you're not seeing it right now because there's no background, but this menu link right now is about this wide, and we're going to make it tall also, so a height of 200 pixels, absolutely square. And we're going to add a background so that we can see what we're doing. So the way we do that is background image, and then we go URL like that. You see that in HTML document we would usually write src equals, but in CSS we write URL. So you see I have my style sheet here, and I'm going to refer to my image folder and get my link 1.ping. Therefore, I'm going to open it up, do image, and link one, point ping. Here we go. We have our image installed. Obviously the image is way too big. So the way we'll correct that is that we'll make the image the width of our block of a link. So we're going to do background width, background size, and 100% for the width, 100% for the tallness. And here we go. We have our link, and we have it the right size. Now we just want to move that over a little bit on the page so that it's in this position. So that is not very difficult. All we do is we select the left side of our link, which ends here, and we're going to give it a distance from the border of our page. So this is a bother. Okay. So how we do that is we select the left side, and then the distance will write 20 pixels. And you see it has moved it 20 pixels from the left side. Now, we're gonna also give it a value of a sort of margin for the top. So we select top, and we'll give it 30 pixels for the top margin. So here we go. Remark that as we make this, we want this link to be behind all three other ones. So before we get into trouble with that, we're going to define a z-index, and what that does, z-index will decide what's behind another element. See, in Word we use go back, go forward, front, back. So if I put it backwards, it'll, well, go forwards or behind my image right here. You can see the border here when it's in front and when it's in back. So anyway, just so that we don't have problems of images colliding either, we would want to define a z index, and that z index will make 50 for our first link right here, and we'll modify the others later. So now, what I want to do is make this link, at least not for the text, but just for the background image, work properly, so we can demonstrate how this works. So when I do a point bubble 1, when I hover over it, I want my background image to change, so I'll write background image. And here, as I showed you, I have different background images for link 1. So I have link 1 active and link 1 hover. So we're doing the hover one. So I'll go here, go into my image folder, and then link 1, not 12, hover. What that should do is when I pass hover over the link, hover point ping, yeah. Nope, not working yet. Let me just try something else. Oh, here we go. So I must not add a space. So, yeah. So when I hover over my element, you'll see that now the link's background image changes to a white one. Pretty cool. So now when it's active, we would like this link to change background color again. And how we do that is select our link, bubble 1, and choose active, and then use a background image, the URL of which is image link 1 active point ping. And that's it. And now when I click on it, it changes color very briefly because this is linked nowhere. Wait, I have to refresh my page first of all. Here we go. So when I click on this link, it'll now change color. So we have an indication, a visual indication when you're hovering over the link and when you're clicking on it, which is great. So I will not demonstrate how we'll do this for the other links, because basically what we do is we'll copy all of this styling and make it fit for bubble 2. So I'll go bubble 2 here. Sorry, I hadn't clicked second time. bubble 2 here, and bubble 2 here. Now, you see that my two bubbles are stacked one over the other. That's because they're exactly the same size, same position. So if I just move my top margin to be 130 pixels, then you'll begin to see that I have two links with the same style. So basically, I'll change my URL, I'll change my size until everything fits. So not to make this too extenuating, I'm gonna skip this part, and I think it's a good idea that you start freelancing on your own a little bit to have exercise. You won't learn anything if you're not copying me right now. So please copy me, and we'll see how to improve this layout in my next tutorial. So, I'm hoping to see you then, and in the meantime, good luck with your coding.